How's it going? That's good. Well, unless you just shared something sad. Um, well, whatever it was, I'm sure it was that way. And I'm here with Lewis. He's looking at me, wondering why I'm talking to nobody. I think he also just got the hiccups, so he'll probably just be hicking away, hicking up next to me. But yeah, let's get into it. So, last time you shared the whole "give me liberty or give me death" speech from Patrick Henry, and that was nice. And I don't think I have any specific answers about the data on what I'm about to say, but I feel so. It was in the context. The Revolutionary War was a lot of things, but a large part of it was feeling oppressed by their government, especially with taxes. Um, and that's why they said they didn't have liberty, or at least that's why Patrick Henry said um, he needed liberty from that oppression. Otherwise, death was okay with him if he could fight that. Um, but my mind goes to, hey, we have a lot of taxes today. Got a lot of taxes, and a lot of people feel oppressed from our government, especially um, on certain religious things, and like I would say, the unborn population feels pretty oppressed. Um, so, so do we try to fight that to our own deaths? That's the question that was brought up for me in what you were saying. But I'm just gonna get into it for what I have because I think I have a lot. We'll see how long this actually takes. But um, today I want to share with you a letter from Vincent Van Gogh to his brother Theo. And this is when he was admitted in a asylum after a series of pretty heavy-duty mental struggles, including one that led to him cutting off his ear. So that's kind of the context. He's been really battling with stuff, and he's talking to his brother about different things about art and just how he's grateful for his brother's support in this time. And I will read it to you now. He writes, "My dear Theo, I think Joe is Theo's wife, so Van Gogh's sister-in-law, Joanna, I think is her name. Um, I thank Joanna Van Gogh, very much for writing to me, and knowing that you wish me to write you a line. I'm letting you know that it is very difficult for me to write. So disturbed is my mind. So I am taking advantage of an interval. Dr. Peyron is really kind to me and really patient. You can imagine that I'm very deeply distressed that the attacks have recurred when I was already beginning to hope that they wouldn't. You'll perhaps do well to write a line to Dr. Peyron to say that working on my paintings is quite necessary to me for my recovery. For these days, without anything to do and without being able to go into a room he had allocated for me for doing my painting, are almost intolerable to me. I received the catalogue of the Gauguin, Bernard, and Schofenecker, etc. exhibition. Those are contemporary artists of his, which I find interesting. Gauguin also wrote me a kind letter, still a little vague and obscure, but anyway, I must say that I think they're quite right to have exhibited among themselves. For many days, I have been absolutely distraught. As in Arles, I'm not sure how to say that town name, just as much as if not worse. Just as much, if not worse. And it's to be presumed that these crises will recur in the future. It is, all caps, abominable. I haven't been able to eat for 4 days, as my throat is swollen. It's not in order to complain too much, I hope, if I tell you these details, but to prove to you that I'm not yet in a fit state to go to Paris or to Pont-Aven. unless it were to Charenton. I'm doing my best. It appears that I pick up filthy things and eat them. Although my memories of these bad moments are vague, and it appears to me that there's something shady about it, still for the same reason that they have, I don't know what prejudice against painters here. You good, bud? I'm gonna keep going. It appears... Wait, no. Okay. I no longer see any possibility for courage or good hope. But anyway, it wasn't yesterday that we found out that this profession isn't a happy one. I'm going to read that again because he was kind of loud. It wasn't yesterday that we found out that this profession isn't a happy one. All the same, it gives me pleasure that you've received that consignment from here, the landscapes. I think he painted them, some landscape paintings. Thank you above all for that etching after Rembrandt. It's surprising and yet makes me think again of the man with the staff in the Lacaze gallery. If you want me to do a very, very great pleasure, then send a copy of it to Gauguin. Then the Rodin and Claude Monet brochure is really interesting. This new crisis, my dear brother, I think he wants to help me read it, came upon me in the fields, and when I was in... Where did you put it? And when I was in the middle of painting on a windy day. I'll send you the canvas, which I nevertheless finished, and it was precisely a more sober attempt. Matte in color without looking impressive. Broken greens, reds, and rusty ochre yellows. As I told you, that from time to time I felt a desire to begin again with a palette like the one in the north. I'll send you that canvas as soon as I can. Good day. Thank you for all your kindness. Good handshake to you and to Joe. And naturally to Cor, if he's still there. Vincent. So yeah, I think there's some lessons. Brother. How's it going, bro? I think there are some lessons that we can take away from this. This letter. And it's kind of the situation as a wider thing. But one of those is the power of creativity for healing. I think he expresses how much it meant to him and his journey of mental struggles. And it's something I've been thinking about lately as I consider my own life and what I want to do with it. Lately I've been entertaining the idea of doing some sort of music therapy, but a little different than how it's normally done, because music therapists normally come by and like play songs for the client. But I want to like teach the client to express themselves through music. I think that would be really powerful. I'm sorry about this guy. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I can give you a chord to play with. Alright. Don't strangle yourself. Where was that? Yeah, so I've been really inspired by like you working with the guys at your job, and like I've got a couple friends, like my friend Alex works at the Denver Action Center, Denver Rescue Mission, something like that. It's like a homeless shelter, and he works with a lot of guys who suffer with substance abuse issues. And so he's doing some great work, and you're doing great work. My friend Zach is doing a lot of like good stuff for food insecurity and things like that. And I want to be like you guys. I want to make a difference for people. And I can kind of say that I do that in that I'm teaching kids how to play the piano, but it doesn't feel as... You are making this really difficult, my man. I might just have to do this the whole time. But yeah, so creativity and therapy might be the crossroads that I try to pursue in order to make a meaningful difference for people and help them. And I think that would be really cool. Anyway, I had some other thoughts. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that we can gather from it. From this letter, I think that it shows the power of support structures. He's able to reach out to his brother and his sister-in-law and talk about some other people, like, who was that guy at the end? Core. And I think it's just a good reminder that we, when we're going through hard things, need to reach out to the people in our lives that care about us. And when we're not going through hard things, we need to still invest in those structures and also be able to be that person for somebody. And yeah, so support systems matter. I think he shows some great perseverance in this letter, that he's working on himself. He's not giving up completely, but he's seeking help at the asylum, and he's trying to work through his issues through art. So perseverance is important, especially when the issue you're having is recurring. So just building resilience and understanding that sometimes issues that you have aren't going to go away. Depends on the issue, but some of them are just going to stick with you. And so you have to learn how to build up the resilience to handle that with excellence and determination and strength and all that good stuff. This guy, I'm so sorry. He's just a grub, a noisy grub with a blue head. He talks about how he was painting out in nature, in the fields on a windy day. And I think that's another reminder that if you're dealing with something hard, get out in nature. There's power in connecting to the natural world and God's beautiful creation. I find that to be really true. And that's why I kind of miss Colorado, especially. There's some nice stuff here in Nebraska, but Colorado is so good for that. What do you want? Do you want the ukulele? Pluck away at that for a second. And I think that's... This might be my cue. I had some more thoughts about suffering and how it leads to good creation, but maybe you could touch on that in a response. I bet you have good thoughts about suffering and art, and just like the fact that I don't know, there's a legacy of kind acts, like the small things that Theo and his wife did for Vincent really made a difference. So there's a lesson in that too. I think just don't forget to do the small kind things. All right, I think this guy needs some more attention, so I'm gonna be done. Thank you so much. Goodbye.